All right, guys, this is Asia Chanel with the Intermodal Group, and I wanted to go over the course outline that we will be teaching you guys in dispatching drayage, the blueprint. Again, my name is Asia Chanel. I teach ambitious professionals how to succeed in the trucking industry and work from anywhere by starting their own intermodal freight dispatching company. A little bit of background about myself. I've been in this industry since February of 2022. My company was able to generate over six figures in the first year of business. I've been self employed for 4 years now, and this is the first business that I have been in that has generated the lifestyle and the income that I was looking for. So, we are finally at a stage where we are ready to show you guys how to implement the strategies that we have learned over the past year. And so let's get into it. So, what is drayage? Drayage refers to the transportation of goods over short distances, typically within the same metropolitan area or region. This type of transportation usually involves the movement of freight containers or other large items from the port, a rail yard, or other terminal to a warehouse or distribution center. We specifically teach you guys how to operate out of the port, which is a little different than operating out of the rail yard or other terminals. Okay. Dispatching refers to the process of coordinating and managing the movement of freight. This includes assigning your drivers, your trucks to specific loads, tracking the shipments, communicating with your customers and other stakeholders to ensure timely and effective delivery. We as dispatchers play a crucial role in ensuring that the shipments are delivered safely and on schedule. The things that you need to have before you start, you absolutely have to have your business registration with the appropriate state or local government agency, and you need to obtain your EIN number from the IRS. This may involve obtaining a business license or permit, registering for taxes, and filing other necessary paperwork, depending on the state that you are living in. You absolutely need to have a business bank account, which allows you to separate your personal from your business expenses. You never really want to get those mixed up. And then it'll be easier for you to track your income and manage your money and cash flow. The equipment that we recommend for you to have, while it is possible to manage a lot of these tasks from your smartphone or a tablet, a laptop or computer provides a more effective and efficient way for you to manage your business operations. Agreements and templates that we share, you'll be provided with agreements to share with your carriers, shippers, and other stakeholders, outlining the terms of services, rates, and other key details, which we will be going over some of those today. A professional email address will absolutely help you stand out against the crowd. Your email address should reflect your business name and be easy for customers and carriers to remember and use. Using a professional email address also helps to establish credibility and legitimacy for your business. So, for example, our email address is info@theintermodalgroup.com versus theintermodalgroup@yahoo.com. See the difference? A factoring company, you may also be responsible for submitting invoices to the factoring company and providing additional information required for the factoring process. In some cases, you may also be responsible for managing the relationship between the trucking company and the factoring company, ensuring that invoices are paid on time and that any disputes are resolved promptly, which we go over in the full course and break that process down for you guys. More things that you will learn in this course. You will learn the knowledge and the experience. You'll have a deep understanding of the freight industry, including the regulations, the market trends, what the rate per mile should be, what region is generating the type of money that the carriers are looking for, the negotiation process for that region, because every port is different. So you'll be learning a wide array of things in that area. Technology and infrastructure. We like to show you guys our dispatching software, the TMS system that we use, the tracking systems, the accounting software that we use, to keep up with our invoices and how we're getting paid, since we are getting paid from the drivers directly. We show you the back office of all of those things. The carrier relationships, we teach you how to develop strong relationships with your carriers and with your brokers so that you maintain a healthy balance, and how to nurture those relationships for successful um, long and successful what's the word that I'm looking for? Relationships, long and successful business with each other, basically. Human resources, we go over hiring and retaining skilled dispatchers and operation staffs, which is critical for managing day-to-day operations and ensuring customer satisfaction. You really want to know, how do you manage a team? How do you vet these people? How do you split up how do you pay them? And what qualities you should be looking for. We briefly touch on that in the course. We also go over providing exceptional customer service, including timely communication, accurate tracking, on-time delivery, which is very essential to building a loyal customer base and maintaining a positive reputation in the industry. This requires a focus on quality, reliability, and responsiveness to the customer needs. More so, we teach you how to credit check with a factoring company, how to send out rate requests in the negotiation process, the accessorial fees, what they are, what they should be, and the breakdown of each. What is a rate con, a BOL, a delivery order, and a hazmat safety data sheet. How to check on the container status and the things that you should look out for. How to manage the loads in your TMS system, and how to send a notification to your driver's phones so that they know which containers are assigned to them. Documents that you need from the containers and what to send back to the broker or the freight forwarder that you're working with. The difference between a broker and a freight forwarder. You'll get a PDF sheet on the port terminology, the Port of Virginia's ProPass system, which the things that we are teaching you can be used at any port. But since we have mastered the Port of Virginia's ProPass system, this is the system that we go behind the scenes and teach you guys so that you can use those same qualities and use them for whatever terminal, whatever port that you are operating out of. We go over container and chassis types, how to find and vet carriers, what documents you need to get from the carriers, which we will be going over today, the UIIA registration, and where to find brokers and shippers. The onboarding carriers that you need, the onboarding documents that you need from your carriers is the following. You need your MC authority, you need the SCAC letter, the UIIA letter, the license plate number, the W-9, you need their notice of assignment, certificate of insurance, the TWIC card, which is an optional thing. Sometimes they send it, sometimes they don't. It's okay if they don't, but I still like to ask for it just in case. Hazmat certifications, if they are hazmat endorsed, and load match login credentials. As a drayage dispatching business, you will need to collect certain documents and information from your carriers during this onboarding process. These documents and information will help you to ensure that your carriers are properly licensed and insured, and that they meet other regulatory and safety requirements. Where to find your carriers? We won't go into this today. We go in this more in the course in full. But just briefly, you can use the Facebook search bar to search for groups related to the trucking or transportation industry. You can use keywords such as intermodal trucking, container freight, transportation, or logistics to narrow down your search. Load Match is also a successful and helpful resource that we use at the Intermodal Group. It's a load board that connects shippers and brokers with carriers. We will show you the steps to how to find them on loadmatch.com. Once you start to establish your relationship, carriers will begin to call you just by getting your number and your company's name from another carrier. Word of mouth shows a lot about your company. And each of these options will generate success for you and your company. Relationships and reputation is everything. So here are some motor carrier document examples. I just wanted to pull up, modify, and show you guys in real life so that you see what you are looking for. A carrier dispatcher agreement is a legal contract between a motor carrier and a dispatcher. The agreement outlines the terms and conditions of the services that the dispatcher will provide to the carrier. The agreement typically includes details about the following. It'll show the services that you're providing, the payment that you guys agreed on, the duration of the agreement, the termination requirements, confidentiality, representations and warranties, and indemnification. We actually give you guys a template, a PDF template that you can edit for this in your course, so you don't have to worry about trying to find it or cultivate your own agreement. So your MC authority letter, here's an example of this here. MC authority is a license issued by the FMCSA that allows motor carriers to operate commercial vehicles across and within the state lines. So you ask them for their MC authority letter, they're going to know exactly what you're talking about. And it shares their MC number as well as their DOT number here. Their SCAC letter. A SCAC code is a unique 2 to 4 letter code assigned by the NMFTA to identify transportation companies. SCAC codes are used throughout the transportation industry, including in trucking, rail, air, and sea transportation to identify carriers and track shipments. The SCAC code is also assigned based on the company's legal name or common usage name and is used to identify carriers for regulatory and billing purposes. The code can be requested by carriers through the NMFTA, and it must be renewed every year. And here's an example of that letter. The UIIA letter. The UIIA letter is an agreement between a motor carrier and a IEP, which is a ship line, that allows the carrier to use the IEP's intermodal chassis to transport cargo via rail. UIIA stands for Uniform Intermodal Interchange and Facilities Access Agreement, and it is a standard agreement developed by the Intermodal Association of North America that establishes uniform terms and conditions for the interchange of intermodal equipment between motor carriers and IEPs, aka ship lines. That is a tongue twister. Okay, you're going to ask them for their UIIA letter. Make sure that this is not crossed out. Sometimes I've had carriers send me their UIIA letter and they would cross out their password and cross out this. And then I tell them why I need it, and they end up sending it back to me, which we go over that fully in the Dispatching Drayage Blueprint course. Their W-9 form is a tax document used in the United States to request a tax preparer identification number and certification from an individual or company. The form is used by businesses or organizations that pays individuals for services or rendered by banks that pay interest to individuals. On this one, when I was preparing this, for some reason, I was not able to insert all letters under the employer identification number, but all of these should be filled. It should be signed, dated, with these boxes filled out. At least 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Notice of assignment. So a notice of assignment, or an NOA, is a document used by a factoring company to inform the debtor, aka the broker, that their invoice has been assigned to the factoring company. The notice of assignment serves as proof that the factoring company has purchased the invoice from the original creditor and will be given as an advance to the carrier. So essentially, a factoring company When a carrier is moving a load for a broker and they don't have a factoring company, the broker typically pays a net 30, right? So instead of them waiting 30 days to get paid, they work with a factoring company, and a factoring company gives them an advance that pays them within 1 to 2 days. They charge like a 3 to 5% fee. But this, really helps the carrier from waiting that much time to get paid, and it'll help you get paid as well. Because if they had to wait 30 days, then more than likely you would have to wait 30 days. But we get the notice of assignment, have it in our documents to ensure that they can get paid within the proper time frame. Certificate of insurance. So typically when you are obtaining the certificate of insurance from your carrier, you want to make sure that they have at least $1 million in general commercial liability insurance, as well as $1 million under the auto liability insurance. And then sometimes I've seen some of my carriers have 100,000 for the cargo insurance, or I've seen 250,000. It really just depends on the carrier, if they has hazmat and other requirements. But this is what that sheet would look like. Okay. Last but not least, hazmat certification. This is an optional thing. Every carrier that works out of the port may not be hazmat certified. Hazmat certification refers to the process of obtaining a hazardous material endorsement on a CDL. This endorsement requires drivers who transport hazardous materials require placarding under the DOT regulations. To obtain this endorsement, the driver must pass a written exam that covers topics such as hazmat regulations, safety precautions, and emergency response procedures. So because hazmat drivers, they have to go an extra step. Once you do get hazmat containers or hazmat materials for your customers or your carriers to move, that means that it will ensure for them to get more money. So let's say that, if a load was paying $1,000 for them to go from Norfolk to Greensboro, North Carolina, because it's hazmat, we could charge maybe $1,250 or more because of this certification. Most of the time it's more, but you definitely want to negotiate a higher price because it is a hazmat material, and we go over that in full. So I just wanted to make sure that I prepared this video for you guys so that you can have it in your at your disposal. Make sure that if you guys have any questions, please contact me at our email at info@theintermodalgroup.com. Again, this is Asia with the Intermodal Group. And you guys have a good day. Thank you so much. Let me know if you guys need any help with anything. Thanks.